Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Sharon Holly, and I'm a certified yoga therapist. So grateful to be here with you this afternoon. For our second day, day 2 of living well, living better. I know it's listed a couple of different ways on there, but the goal is that you create a daily yoga practice that supports you in your healing. And I'm here to help support you in that. So I know maybe some of you are new today, maybe you were here yesterday, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin the practice. So we have our full time, and I'll just kind of weave in the ideas of what we're doing as we move through, so you have an idea. And if you were here yesterday, you know I invited you to get a piece of paper or a journal or something just to start to track yourself and to start to see what kind of changes are happening in your body just in the experience of being here and on the second day, second day now, but from the beginning to the end of your practice, and then looking at the 10 days. So wherever you are, I invite you to come and settle in. That might mean sitting, that might mean lying down. So whatever is going to be the most comfortable and supportive for you. And then perhaps either beginning to look around your space to ground yourself into this moment by looking around, orienting colors and shapes and textures, right? Many of you have heard me say it's important that you actually move your whole neck, not just your eyes, but to move your whole neck as you look around your space, right? That helps to shift our awareness and our attention into the present moment, into right here, right now. Maybe you're noticing sounds that are nearby, maybe smells in the nose or tastes in the mouth. So just experiencing what is true for you in this moment. And if it's comfortable for you to close the eyes, perhaps find a soft gaze, allowing the eyes to gently close. You're always welcome again to leave them wherever's comfortable for you. We're going to check in with a moment of grounding here, noticing your feet connecting to the earth or wherever they're touching, in case you're lying down, right? So notice whatever surface your feet are being supported by, connect to that in this moment. And becoming aware as you scan through the body of any areas that might be calling out for your attention. And so just noticing what those areas are without judgment, perhaps with a sense of curiosity, welcoming sensation as a messenger that's here to give you information about your body in this moment. So no judgment, as best you can. And as you're scanning through the physical body, you might notice thoughts that are arising. Just noticing what those are. Again, without judgment, just noticing maybe there's a particular thought that keeps ruminating over and over. Maybe there are thoughts bouncing around from one thing to the next. So if you're noticing that's true, just calling it out for yourself. Oh, my mind is wandering. And then perhaps emotions. Are there any feelings that you're coming into this practice with it today? And again, not judging yourself, not trying to create anything, just aware of what is. So that's the first place we come to our practice, our daily yoga practice. Yoga means to join, to reconnect the body and the mind. Oftentimes they get disconnected throughout our day. And we can reconnect them and bring them back into this present moment. Oftentimes we can find a sense of ease and peace. And often the way that we do this is through the breath. So noticing your breath. Is it in your nose, your throat, the chest or the belly? Is there any particular pattern to your breath? Is it deep or shallow, fast or slow? And as you notice your breath, see if there's any intention that comes into your awareness today. What is it that brought you to your mat in this moment? Maybe you're noticing you need a little sense of grounding, of connection, of peace or calm. Perhaps you're looking for a little bit of strength today, just noticing what is true for you. And if a word comes into your mind, imagine calling that in as you inhale and then drawing it down from the crown of your head down to your toes on the exhale. Right? So just pulling that into your body, into this moment. Remembering, as we spoke yesterday, and again, each class will build on whether you choose to do ujjayi, breathing in and out of the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in a way that feels most easeful and accessible for you in this moment. Maybe one more time, guiding that word, that thought. We call it a mantra in yoga, right? The attention. Intention for attention to come into this moment. Whenever we notice the mind wandering, we come back to that intention for today. And then just noticing your energy, right? See what your energy feels like in this moment. We talked about perhaps writing this down on a daily basis. What is your energy at the start of class? 0 being feeling really tired, I need to go to sleep right now, and 10 being I could run circles, right? I could just run around right now. So where's your energy? So just checking in to see what that looks like for you, that feels like for you. And then I invite you maybe for one other thing today. What else is coming up? Oftentimes I think of this word grounding. How grounded do you feel? Do you feel like you're all over the place and you're not grounded at all? That would be a 0. Do you feel really settled and grounded? That would be a 10. So anywhere from 0 to 10. And if you're noticing that there's a reason you're not feeling grounded, maybe you're feeling anxious or fearful or upset, whatever it is, just noticing what that is. So we're kind of starting to track sensations on a daily basis and then throughout from the beginning to the end of this 10-day practice. So just see what comes to mind for you and not to stay on it long, just to notice. As you begin, see how this practice can support you in this moment. And if your eyes are still closed, taking one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Settling in to this moment. And if your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and open them up. Maybe go ahead and roll the shoulders forward, up, and back. So I just want to check in for a moment. I'm hearing that somebody can't see me full screen, and I'm just wondering if that's true. From what I can see on my side, I can see from my feet all the way above my head. So I'm just wondering if Darren is paying attention out there, if not paying attention, but if you're hearing me. Sorry, Darren, I didn't mean that. I meant that I know you've got other workshops you might be working on right now. So are you able to hear me, and can you see me? Can other people see me? So I just want to kind of check in with that to see what end it's on. So as we begin here, just remember we turned our head from side to side. This is a great place to start our practice, to just notice, right? If we have a full range of motion, how far over your shoulder you can see as you look in one direction and as you look in the other direction. Just moving from side to side in a way that feels easeful for you. And again, remembering throughout the practice, you're always welcome. If you need to close your eyes back, you can for any reason, but just see what's best. That's my intention throughout every practice, is what makes you feel the most easeful. And then from here, perhaps tilting your chin towards your chest and then looking up towards the ceiling. I'm just checking in here. Okay, it's being looked into. Apparently, it's a technical thing on the other side, not something I'm able to do, but thank you for letting us know. So just go ahead and tilt your chin. You can always listen to my words if for some reason you're having trouble seeing me. The next time your chin tilts towards your neck, we're going to go ahead and do a little half circle, rotating in one direction and then the opposite direction, letting your breath guide you. If a full circle feels appropriate for you, you might go all the way around, but just be really gentle, right? So we're starting to move our spine in all its directions. We begin with our cervical spine, which is our neck. We want to be really gentle with that. So we've done a little bit of side to side, a little twisting, right, in the neck. We did a little extension as we looked up and flexion as we looked down. Here we're going to go ahead and do a little side stretch, reaching ear towards the shoulder. And the other side. Right, now that we've warmed up a little bit. So we call that, right, I've said yesterday, the no's, the yeses, and now the maybes. Maybe. And as we make our way back, we're going to go ahead and roll those shoulders forward, up, and back. So doing this throughout our day as many times in the day as we can is super important to keep our neck, a little, all of our necks a little bit hydrated, right? Keeping ease in there. Maybe giving yourself a little massage. I didn't get to do this yesterday, so maybe just a little massage by squeezing on one side. My hair's in here, squeezing on the other side. Just gentle, right? Easeful, depending upon what feels best for you. And then maybe looking side to side again, noticing if there's any change in your range of motion. And as you make your way back to center, we're going to take a pause here and check in. Maybe bring either one hand to your belly or both hands to your belly. Sometimes it's comfortable to be here, one hand to your chest. We're just going to begin to breathe into the abdominal area. Make sure, sometimes the breath gets stuck up in the chest area, right? And that can cause some anxiety or tension. So see if you can allow it to just gently move all the way down into your abdominal area. We talked a little bit about our diaphragm, right? So as we inhale, the dome, the diaphragm is our muscle right here. It actually pushes down into the belly. That's what pushes out. So we can expand in our ribs, right? As we inhale. And as we exhale, the dome comes back up and the belly pulls back and the lungs contract, right? So inhaling, expand, and exhale, contract. Okay, so you want to think about that. Maybe take 2 more breaths with your eyes closed for a moment. I take a little peek. And coming on back, opening the eyes if they're closed. I just want to take a quick peek. So I was going to type, but you know what? I don't want to interrupt the yoga class. And so I'm just going to, not sure what's going on. My screen is full screen as it always has been. I'm just letting Darren know this because I don't see any X or anything that says full screen. I'm in a Zoom window right now. I don't see a Whova X or anything. For me, it looks the way it's been looking the whole conference. I can see myself full screen. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I can't help you. But again, listen to my voice for those of you who are here practicing with us today. I don't know what to do in this moment except to breathe and do my yoga practice. So doing our abdominal breathing. Now we're going to move down into the thoracic and into the lumbar spine. And so from here, perhaps we're going to inhale, bringing the arms up into our cactus arms. Okay. And so see if that feels comfortable for you today. This is an area, again, if somebody's had surgery recently, your arms may not come up all the way. Maybe only one arm comes up. So see what makes the most sense for you. Okay. If your arms are able to be here, we might just go ahead and twist over to one side and back to center and over to the other side and back to center. Maybe one more time each side. So in order for me to have this nice wide screen where everybody can see me, my camera's really far away, so I can't read the screen until I go up to it, and I'm going over to my desktop. We'll come back to center. I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands down, slide my hands towards my thighs, and now I'm going to exhale as I look towards my belly. That's going to go ahead and flex the spine as I inhale, extend through the spine. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Beautiful. Exhale, flex. And inhale, extend. Okay, so moving on down. So what we're looking for in our practice day to day and then over the course of our 10 days is how is our range of motion, right? Do we feel any restriction in areas? And do we see changes throughout? So the next place we're going to come is allowing the arms to come down by your sides. We're going to do a little side bend here. And remembering, depending upon your energy, you're always welcome to do this standing. I'm going to come up and stand. And like I said, I'm going to mix this up different days, do different things. All of the same movements, but sometimes sitting, sometimes standing. But you can imagine you'd be doing this standing, right? Just doing the same thing. I'm going to come up to standing in just a moment. I just want people to feel like they have the availability, if they're feeling tired today, to be here. But if you've been sitting a lot, we know it's important to get up at least at minimum every 60 minutes, but ideally every 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm not sure how long you've been sitting. If you were here for the previous workshop, you might have been sitting for a little bit. So we probably want to start to make our way up. And that's why I wanted to make sure that we engage the abdominals here. So we're going to use those as we stand up. So taking a nice inhale here. And when you're ready, on an exhale, we're going to go ahead and stand up. And once we make it up, go ahead and roll the shoulders again, forward, up, and back. Okay, and now I'm hearing from someone who sees me full screen. Oh, you were talking to the... When you talked about the X, Darren, you were talking to the people who are watching. I thought you were talking to me. Now I understand. So hopefully people out there who could not see me on full screen have now changed their screens. Now we're getting it. We're all learning. We are all learning. It's part of the process, right? Being gentle and kind with ourselves and with one another. All right, so once we're standing, we're going to play with a little bit of balance. So balance is super important to help keep our body strong. So I'm going to move my chair off to the side so I have it as support. So if you have a wall nearby, if you have a chair nearby, if you feel like you need support, then feel free to grab onto whatever it is that you need. What we're going to do is we're going to find a gaze off in the distance, something that we can focus on that's not moving. And we're going to keep our eyes focused on that. That's our yoga practice, right? To keep focused attention. And then I'm going to come up onto the toes of one foot. So you get to choose which one you want to come onto. Now, again, you can play with the sitting down also. You're starting to build the muscle memory and the neural pathways into the brain. If you're not feeling like you're ready to stand up, if that's not appropriate for you today, you can play with this sitting down, okay? So for those who are standing, again, you get to decide. Does it feel appropriate for you today to maybe lift that leg up as you exhale and place that foot back down? Right? So holding on to something or not, your choice. Notice how I put one hand on my belly. That helps to keep me focused here. Right? So I'm really thinking about the energy moving from the center of my body. And then if that felt okay for me, staying here. Maybe just gently lifting my foot off the ground as much as feels comfortable. If I'm feeling super steady, I might go ahead and raise the opposite arm. Or if you have the chair on the other side, right, that could be too. So just opposite arm and opposite leg helps to balance out the body. Maybe you move the chair or the wall to the other side if you need that support, right? Just to show. Maybe your arm extends up higher. Where are you today? Where's your balance? Really breathing into your foot, grounding down into the earth. And when you're ready to release down, shaking it on out. Okay, so notice how that felt. And I also invite people to not just balance here, practice balancing here, but maybe throughout your day, little bits at a time. Maybe when you're brushing your teeth, you've got the counter right there. Maybe you lift a foot up a little bit, brush your teeth, right? Wherever places that feel like you have a moment where you've got steadiness around you, where you can be steady, to practice that balancing, right? And maybe if you want to really measure changes in your body, and the changes can happen in 10 days in balancing, maybe you count the number of seconds that you can balance. And sometimes it wavers from day to day, but you can get an idea. So these are just little things we talked about for those who attended yesterday, and I'll continue to remind you if you want to have a piece of paper nearby or have a little journal, your little 10-day yoga practice journal, so we can start to see, measure the changes that we're noticing, okay? So I'm going to switch sides now. I'm going to keep the chair where it is. So I'm going to show you what I was intending if you had the chair on the opposite side, right? So coming onto the toes, exhale, pulling the leg up and placing it back down, right? Exhale, inhale. So I'm using the exhale on the difficult part, wherever I have the challenge, okay? Coming back up, remembering pain-free range of motion. Don't push into any pain. If it felt okay for you to keep your leg up, maybe keeping the leg. If you feel steady, maybe the opposite arm. See, now I've got balance here. Maybe both arms. Or release this arm down by your side. Woo. So notice how we make it a little wobbly. You might extend this arm up. Finding your breath, finding your gaze, finding your center of gravity. Breathing here. When your body tells you it's time to release, place the leg down, place the arm down, shake it on out. Beautiful. Shake out the hands, shake out the feet, okay? Maybe lifting the toes a little bit, pressing the feet into the earth, right? And so perhaps coming onto the toes. This is great for neuropathy. So I have little specialty classes I've been doing throughout the conference so far on lymphedema, on neuropathy or other side effects, pain and such. So each one of those focuses, but then I weave them into the practice, right? So this is for neuropathy. Again, I have my hand on the chair, so if there's any numbness, I have the support here. You can also do 1 foot at a time, right? So these are just nice little ways to practice being present in this moment, feeling sensation in your body. When you start to feel the calves letting you know that they've had enough, go ahead and take a pause. I'm going to go ahead and just step aside just for a moment and bring the palms of my hands together. We did this little bit of a modified sun salutation yesterday. So from here, we're going to go ahead and inhale, open the arms out to the sides, opening them out wide. I'm going to come back down into my cactus arms, right? And then I bent my knees here, but not like this. My knees are right over my ankles. Okay, so like you're going to sit back in a chair. So I can feel my thighs activate. I'm going to go ahead and twist over to one side, back to center, and over to the other side, back to center. Again, remember, able to do any of this seated. I'm going to release my hands down to my thighs, and then sweep my fingers on my thighs. Let my head, my neck, and my shoulders go. A little bit of a forward bend here. And then I'm going to press through my feet. Inhale, open my arms out wide, and bring the hands all the way back to the heart center, okay? So again, this time we're going to go ahead and inhale, open the arms out wide. I'm going to twist over to the other side as I sit back in my chair. And so remembering, pain-free range of motion means you only move as far as you do not feel any pain, right? Little movements, check in, see your range of motion. Then we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring the hands to the thighs, slowly slide them down. I'm keeping a flat back. I need to be cautious with my back. I have osteoporosis, so I don't want to come into a full forward bed. But if it feels okay for you too, then feel free. Okay, maybe you're doing this modified in a chair. We're going to go ahead and, as you exhale, press through the feet, bring the arms all the way back up, hands back to the heart center. Beautiful. Releasing arms back down by your sides. And we came forward. We used our chair, bringing one foot on the inside of the chair, stepping one foot back, just for a little bit of a warrior one. If you wanted to play with this, notice how when I bend my knee here, it's not going past my toes. I use a chair sometimes so that it doesn't go past. I know when I talked about using the upper back for the support here, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of come back and forth onto my toes. So again, nice little stretch for the toes if there's any neuropathy going on. Also stretching into the front leg, a little bit of the hamstring, a little bit of the calf muscle, and then perhaps staying here and flexing through. I'm going to bring this foot in just a little bit and stretch through the back of my leg. If you've been sitting a lot, this can be very supportive here. Notice how I'm still have my flat back. Breathing into that front leg. Place that foot down and switching sides. Okay. So we're just focusing on the leg part of the warrior one in this practice. As I talked about, we'll have 10 days here and then we'll see how we progress here. We're going to have a break for a couple days and we're going to have another 10 days. So I might add in more there, but I'm going to do variations, similar movements each day of this so you can start to see what it's like to develop just a nice practice at home for yourself. We're going to go ahead and stretch into this front leg. So most importantly, moving the spine in all its directions as we've done so far. Stretching maybe in the legs if you've been sitting a lot. Using your breath to help guide you. Finding ease in the body. Maybe taking a nice deep sigh in through the nose. Deep breath and sigh it out. And press that foot back down. Bring both feet back together. And then your choice if you want to stay standing or come back into your chair or seat if you're sitting. Maybe you've been lying down through the whole practice. Remember, that's totally fine too. We're just going to take a moment and check in. Hands are on the thighs. Maybe gently allow the eyes to close. Notice your breath. Notice your heartbeat. What do you experience in your body? If you feel a little bit of tingling, we call that prana in yoga, our life force, our life energy. Keeping that prana flowing keeps us healthy and strong. Keeps our immune system working. And so noticing your energy, noticing if that number changed from the start of the practice to now. Maybe you have more energy, maybe you have less. Just noticing. There's no judgment. We're just observing. And how about grounding? Do you feel more connected to the earth, to yourself? Is there any other word that came up for you? Noticing if there's any shift in your body, physical, mental, or emotional. Taking 3 more breaths right here, in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth. Perhaps bringing that word back into your mind. What was it? What was your intention for today's practice? Drawing it in each inhale. Sending it from the crown of your head down to your toes on the exhale. We'll do one more breath together in through the nose. Maybe out through the mouth. From here, we'll go ahead and bring the palms of the hands together right at the heart center. And taking this moment of gratitude for yourself, for taking this time in your day for the practice of yoga. Stretching, strengthening, relaxing, and restoring body, mind, and spirit. Taking a sense of peace, health, and ease with you throughout the rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you all again for joining me here today for our day 2 of our daily practice for step 2, living well. We'll be here again tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and we're going to have an extended session. So tomorrow's going to be, we're going to move into some flexibility, balance, and strength from 2:30 to 3. So I'll expand upon that. If you're able to join us, I look forward to seeing you then. Namaste.